Did Canelo Alvarez just get exposed by Terence Crawford? Yes, he did. What was billed as one of the most anticipated fights in boxing history turned into a one-sided reality check. Terence Crawford completely dismantled Canelo Alvarez in front of the world, leaving fans to question whether Canelo had been overrated all along. From the very first bell, it was obvious who the superior fighter was. Crawford's timing, speed, and precision immediately exposed Canelo's lack of answers. Every attempt Canelo made to close the distance was met with stiff jabs, sharp counters, and blistering combinations that left him frozen. The crowd, which entered the arena full of energy and expectation, began to murmur in disbelief as Canelo, a man hailed as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters of his ERA, looked utterly lost and ordinary. Crawford didn't just win rounds. He embarrassed Canelo, making him look like an amateur on the sport's biggest stage. The shocking part wasn't just Crawford's dominance, but Canelo's inability to adjust or show any of the legendary grit that once defined his career. Time and again, he was beaten to the punch, and his famous counterpunching never surfaced. The power that once struck fear into opponents seemed completely ineffective, as Crawford walked him down, slipping punches effortlessly and landing with authority. Fans expecting fireworks were left shaking their heads as Canelo looked slower, more predictable, and outclassed. Social media erupted immediately, with thousands calling Canelo exposed and questioning whether his past victories had been against carefully selected opponents rather than true challenges. As the fight wore on, the humiliation deepened. Crawford's control was absolute. He dictated the pace, switched stances at will, and even taunted Canelo, knowing he had nothing to fear. The aura of invincibility surrounding Canelo cracked right before the fans' eyes. And for the first time, many began to wonder if his greatness had been exaggerated. By the end of the fight, Canelo was battered and broken, his corner visibly frustrated, and the arena filled with stunned silence. Crawford stood tall, not just as the winner of the night, but as the man who shattered the myth of Canelo Alvarez's supposed supremacy. This wasn't just a loss. It was a statement! Proof, in the eyes of many, that Canelo had always been overrated, and that Crawford had finally exposed the truth for the whole world to see. Hey guys, welcome to our channel where it's our job to tell you all things boxing. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. This was truly one of the most anticipated fights of recent times. Two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, both undefeated, both boasting legions of dedicated fans. It promised to be a spectacle, a display of skill, power, and determination. Crawford vs. Canelo. It was a matchup that had fans on the edge of their seats even before the opening bell. The hype was real, the expectations sky high, and the anticipation palpable. But as they say, expectations and reality often take different paths, and what unfolded that night was nothing short of shocking. It wasn't just a defeat for Canelo. It was a comprehensive dismantling, a display of such dominance that left many questioning whether Canelo had been overrated all along. For those who witnessed it, it wasn't just a fight. It was a masterclass, a lesson in precision, speed, and control. Crawford didn't just win. He dominated, humiliated, even. It was a performance that transcended the sport, becoming a defining moment in the narrative of boxing. It was a turning point that shifted the sands of boxing's landscape. And now the question on everyone's lips is, how did this happen? How did Canelo, the seemingly invincible, the seemingly supreme, end up so exposed? As the fight kicked off, it was evident that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park for Crawford. Canelo came out strong, throwing a barrage of punches that forced Crawford to back off. But as the rounds progressed, the tide began to turn. Crawford's superior reach and mobility became a problem for Canelo, who, despite his best efforts, just couldn't land a solid blow. Crawford, on the other hand, was a whirlwind of activity, his punches coming from unexpected angles, his footwork flawless, his timing impeccable. He was like a boxer playing chess, while Canelo was stuck in a loop. By the fourth round, the story was already being written. Canelo was frustrated, his face a canvas of swelling bruises. Crawford, on the other hand, was just getting warmed up. The fifth round saw a shift in energy. Crawford, with a combination of swift jabs and hooks, sent Canelo crashing to the canvas. The crowd roared, sensing a change in momentum. But Canelo, though shaken, got up. Yet it was clear that this was only the beginning of his downfall. The sixth round was a turning point. Crawford continued his relentless assault, forcing Canelo into a corner. As the bell rang, ending the round, it was clear that Canelo was on the brink. In the seventh round, it happened. With a precise uppercut, Crawford connected, sending Canelo crashing to the canvas again. But this time, there was no getting up. It was over. Crawford had won. But this wasn't just a win. It was a knockout, a technical knockout in the seventh round. And as the arena erupted, one word echoed through the stands. Exposed. The post-fight discussions weren't about who won or lost. They were about the magnitude of Crawford's victory, the deconstruction of Canelo's seemingly invincible persona. And then came the social media storm. Thousands of tweets, millions of comments, all echoing the same sentiment. Canelo exposed. The narrative was inescapable. Canelo, the man who had long been considered unbeatable, was now labeled overrated. His past victories questioned, his future prospects dimmed. The fight wasn't just about two boxers in a ring. It was about legacies, about reputations, about the very essence of what it means to be a champion. Many argued that Canelo's previous wins were a result of carefully curated matchmaking, a testament to his team's strategic brilliance rather than his superior skills. Suddenly, every win was scrutinized, every opponent evaluated. The aura that had made Canelo a superstar was being peeled away, revealing a boxer who, in the eyes of many, had been living on hype. In the aftermath, Canelo's team was left picking up the pieces. His reputation, once untouchable, was now hanging by a thread. The calls for a rematch were drowned out by the louder chorus demanding a re-evaluation of Canelo's status. In the boxing world, legends are made and broken. And in the case of Canelo Alvarez, it seems that the legend might have been slightly exaggerated. So let me ask you guys, do you think Canelo's gotten a bad rap? Let me know in the comments below. Also, do you forget to like and subscribe for all the latest news and views from the world of boxing? Until next time, stay tuned.